Mr. Bleaney is a poem in which Larkin explores themes of isolation and loneliness. In many ways it sits alongside Dockery and Son. In Dockery, you'll recall, Larkin, discovering that a university contemporary had gotten himself a son at quite an early age, is driven to reflect on the decisions and choices that had led him to arrive at that point in his life with, well, nothing. Here, moving into a flat recently vacated by the eponymous Mr. Bleaney, Larkin again is driven to look inside himself and think about Bleaney, but also to think about himself. He gets to know the externals of Bleaney's life, and a pretty miserable set of externals they are too. The Christmas with his sister in Stoke, the summer with the Frinton folk. He gets annoyed by the jabbering of the radio that Bleaney egged on the landlady to buy. He gets to know this kind of miserable, forlorn outside of Bleaney's life. But what he doesn't get to know is the inner life. Larkin assumes that is equally cold, empty, barren, sterile, take your pick of adjectives. I'll read you some bits from the end, the final couple of stanzas from the poem, and just see what we can take from them. But if he stood and watched the frigid wind tousling the clouds, lay on the fusty bed, telling himself that this was home, and grinned and shivered, without shaking off the dread that how we live measures our own nature, and at his age, having no more to show than one hired box, should make him pretty sure he warranted no better, I don't know. You've got adjectives like frigid, you've got fusty, words that convey this real sombre, bleak tone. There's also the sense here at the end, we've got a reference and allusion to the one hired box. On the surface, that's the room itself, but symbolically, we can't help but be reminded of the coffin. In a similar way that when Larkin went to at the start of Dockery and Son, Larkin was death-suited, this ominous reminder of our mortality. What's interesting at the end there, Larkin admits, usually the poems can finish with a sense of resounding certainty. Life is first boredom, then fear. Here, Larkin is only too happy to admit he is uncertain. I don't know. He is unable to get to know what is actually going on inside Mr. Bleaney. But in many ways it could be seen that this is also a reluctance to look inside himself. Larkin is measuring his own life against that of Mr. Bleaney, and he is afraid of what he sees.